Most men make one critical mistake after a woman pulls away. They assume she'll eventually miss them just because they were good to her, that somehow, if they just wait it out, she'll realize their value and come running back. But in the real world, that doesn't happen. Women don't miss consistency. They don't miss effort. They don't miss loyalty unless something shocks their system. And until that moment comes, you're just a memory she's comfortable living without. Here's the truth. She doesn't start missing you when you text her. She doesn't miss you when you post on social media trying to look happy. She doesn't miss you when you act like you're okay. She only starts missing you when something happens that flips the power dynamic, when she feels a shift that she didn't expect, something that makes her feel your absence in a way that hurts. And until that happens, you're just invisible in her emotional world. You have to become the man she can't ignore, the man who doesn't chase, doesn't explain, and doesn't sit around waiting, the man who disappears with purpose, the man who triggers her curiosity, her fear of loss, her regret, and eventually her need for your presence again. That's what this is about. If you want her to miss you, stop doing what every other guy does. Don't beg, don't check in, don't try to prove anything. Instead, use tactics that work in the modern dating world, tactics that flip the script. In this video, I'm breaking down 7 cold, effective triggers that make a woman finally realize your absence when she's out there, thinking she has options, thinking you'll always be available. Once this shift happens, she feels it, she questions everything. Before we start the video, I want to remind you that my exclusive online course on mastering the dating game is available now. If you've been learning from my YouTube videos, you're only scratching the surface. This course goes deeper, teaching you everything you need to know about the dating game, from approaching a woman to building real attraction. We just finished section 5 in the course, and you won't find this information on videos on my channel. It's easy to access with the secure payment option. Visit stoicapproach-to-life.com or click the link in the description to enroll now and improve your dating life. She feels you've disconnected emotionally. The first time she truly begins to miss you isn't when you walk away physically. It's when you detach emotionally. And here's what most men never understand. Women are far more sensitive to emotional energy than physical presence. You could be in the same city, walking past her friends, posting stories, even sharing mutual spaces. But the moment she senses that your emotions are no longer tied to her, something inside her shifts. That emotional disconnect is a shock to her ego. She used to be your priority. She was the one you thought about, checked on, worried about, and tried to impress. But now, it's quiet. There's no pressure from you, no random texts, no passive aggression, no hidden emotional strings. Just silence. And it's not angry silence. It's not dramatic. It's a calm, cold indifference that tells her you've moved your mind and heart elsewhere. When a man reaches this level of control, it's powerful. It shakes her because she's used to being the center of your emotional orbit. Whether she showed it or not, she felt your attention. Now it's gone. And the question running through her mind is, what changed? This is when the reverse begins. She starts thinking. She checks your online activity more often. She rewatches your old messages. She stalks your pictures, trying to see if something is different. She asks mutual friends questions she never asked before. And she does it quietly because her pride won't let her come forward yet. But inside, the shift is real. She can't explain it, but she feels it. The man who once gave her emotional security is now emotionally missing, and she hates it. Here's the key. You don't achieve this by faking it. You achieve it by deciding that your peace, your time, your value, and your energy no longer belong to someone who took it for granted. The moment you stop thinking about how to get her back and start focusing on why you gave so much in the first place, you step into emotional freedom. You detach with dignity, not with bitterness. And that silence, it's loud. She hears it every day, not in words, but in what's missing: your energy, your care, your presence. That's when missing you becomes unavoidable, because she knows you're not just ignoring her, you're no longer invested. And that's the first moment she realizes she lost something valuable. She sees you've replaced her focus. The second time a woman truly begins to miss you is when she realizes she's no longer the center of your world. You see, men stay emotionally trapped long after the relationship or situation ends. Even when they stop texting or calling, their entire life still revolves around thoughts of her. They check her stories, stalk her online presence, and make decisions based on whether she might see it or not. And women feel that. They may not talk about it, but they know when they still have your attention. As long as they know you're still emotionally orbiting them, they're not going to miss you. Because to her, you never really left. What triggers the shift is when your focus turns completely elsewhere, not just toward another woman, but toward your mission, your mind, your body, your circle, your future. When your daily life no longer reflects someone who is waiting or hoping, but someone who is building and growing, that's when she feels the loss. It's a subtle but deadly shift. She checks your page, expecting to see vague messages about heartbreak or loneliness. But instead, she sees consistency. You're showing up for yourself. You look sharper. You sound more grounded. You're not throwing in direct shade, and you're not seeking sympathy. You're not even trying to prove anything. That's what makes it hit harder. You've outgrown the emotional grip she had on you, and that is what makes a woman panic. What hurts her isn't just the idea that you're fine without her. It's that your life actually looks better now. Because deep down, she thought she was the best thing you had. She assumed no matter how things ended, you'd carry the emotional scar of losing her. But now, you're creating a life that doesn't revolve around her memory. You're becoming the man she never fully saw when she had you. This doesn't mean you need to find someone new right away, or pretend to be happy. It means you genuinely start replacing her energy with things that give you strength. Hit the gym, lock into your money, build your skills, elevate your circle. Your mind starts getting sharper, your time starts getting more valuable, and without saying a word, your actions tell her everything. You no longer have power here. This is when she begins to question herself. She wonders if she underestimated you. She wonders if another woman is now experiencing the version of you she ignored. She feels that replacement, and it burns her ego. The hardest part for her isn't you walking away, it's realizing that someone else or something else now gets your attention. What used to belong to her is now gone, and she didn't get to control how or when that happened. When a man shifts his focus, he shifts the dynamic. And that's when she starts to miss the way you once looked at her. Because now, that look is aimed at something else entirely. She notices you've stopped reaching out. There's a moment every woman dreads, but never admits. It's the day she realizes the messages stopped. The day she picks up her phone, expecting a call, a check-in, or even a simple "how are you?" and nothing comes. No text, no DM, no breadcrumb of attention. Silence. And not the kind of silence that's passive or uncertain. This is the kind of silence that signals something has shifted in you. At first, she tells herself it's temporary. She thinks, maybe you're just busy, maybe you're playing hard to get, maybe you're trying to make her react. But then days go by, weeks even, and still nothing. That's when it hits her. He's really done checking in. He's no longer trying to stay in my world. And suddenly, what she once took for granted now feels like a painful void. Most men don't realize how much power they give away through constant communication. Every just checking in text, every late night call, every double message. It's fuel for her comfort. It reassures her that she still matters. That even if she walked away, she still has a safety net. That emotional insurance keeps her from missing you because there's no urgency, no consequence, no absence. But when you cut that line, it stings. Women expect men to linger. They expect you to hold on even quietly. So when you go completely quiet, not out of anger, but out of resolve, it shakes their entire sense of control. Now, she starts to think, why isn't he calling? Why hasn't he texted? Did he forget me? Is he done with me? And those questions echo in her mind when she's alone, not when she's distracted, not when she's posting for attention, but in the quiet moments late at night, early in the morning when her phone is dry. That's when she feels the loss. This tactic doesn't work if you're doing it to get a reaction. It works when you've truly accepted that chasing a woman who no longer values your presence is beneath you. You stop reaching out not to play games, but because you've outgrown the cycle of waiting to be wanted. You've matured past the need for validation from someone who gave you mixed signals. That's when the silence becomes powerful. And make no mistake, she will notice even if she doesn't say a word, even if she acts unbothered. Women are hyper aware of attention, especially from a man who used to care. So when it disappears, it creates discomfort. Not because she needs you back, but because she no longer has control. Silence, when it's real, is louder than any message you could send. It tells her that the man who once tried is no longer trying, that the door she assumed was always open is now closed. And not in anger, but in peace. That's when she starts missing what she thought would always be there. She realizes you're no longer emotionally accessible. A woman only starts to truly miss you when she realizes she can no longer reach you on the emotional level she once controlled. She may have walked away, gone silent, or started entertaining other options, but she always assumed that deep down, you were still available to her emotionally, mentally, spiritually. She believed that at any moment, if she changed her mind or felt lonely enough, she could come back and tap into your emotional presence. But when she comes knocking, whether directly or indirectly, and finds that door locked, something inside her breaks. Men are taught to be physically strong, but few are ever taught how to protect their emotional energy. That's why women can walk in and out of your life, like it's a revolving door. You give them unrestricted access to your heart. Even after disrespect, distance, or disinterest, you stay emotionally loyal to someone who's already checked out. And as long as she senses that loyalty, she feels no loss. But everything changes when you pull that emotional access card. Not just pretending to be distant, but actually building a wall around your inner world. You stop letting her into your thoughts. You no longer react to her messages. You don't get pulled into emotional conversations. You don't engage when she tries to test the waters with small talk or guilt trips. You stop explaining yourself. You're not cold, you're just unavailable. And she knows it. This isn't something you do with arrogance. It's something you do with clarity. You finally see the truth. Giving a woman access to your emotions is a privilege, not a right. And when someone misuses it, they lose it. Simple. The shift isn't loud, it's subtle. You still speak with respect if you have to, you might even be polite. But the warmth, the depth, the attention, it's no longer there. This type of withdrawal messes with her head because it's not something she expected. Most men either become angry or try harder, but you've done neither. You're just gone emotionally detached, free, and it scares her. Because now if she wants any kind of connection, she has to work for it, she has to break the silence, she has to try to open the door, and that's when she starts feeling the loss. You flip the dynamic. She was used to having emotional leverage over you. She knew she could pull you back in with the right words or the right look. But now that power is gone. You're not reactive, you're not available. And that emotional absence begins to haunt her. She misses not just your presence, but your accessibility. That's what she really valued. Having a man emotionally locked into her, even when she wasn't invested back. Now, she's the one left wondering, overthinking, or playing. And the man who was once emotionally exposed is now guarded, unavailable, and in full control of his peace. That's when she starts to miss you, and not just the idea of you, but the emotional safety she once took for granted. She sees you're getting attention from other women. Nothing stings a woman's pride more than seeing the man she pushed aside getting attention from other women. And not just any attention, but genuine, effortless interest. The kind of attention that shows her you're still valuable, still desired, still attractive. She might not admit it, but deep down, that's the trigger that hits her hardest. Because now she is forced to confront the possibility that you weren't the problem, she was. You see, when a woman thinks she has you emotionally locked, she feels safe exploring her options. She believes that even if things don't work out elsewhere, she can always return to the man who still wants her. But when she sees you being desired by others, when she sees you out smiling, laughing, getting flirted with, getting comments and likes, maybe even being spotted with a new woman, that illusion of control shatters. This doesn't mean you go out of your way to make her jealous. That's weak, that's transparent, and that's emotional. The power comes when the attention you receive is a byproduct of your growth. You're not chasing women. You're attracting them by becoming a better man. You've upgraded your confidence, your appearance, your energy. And women notice. The feminine world is highly tuned into male value, especially rising male value. And once she sees other women responding to what she used to ignore, it hits different. What's dangerous for her ego is the realization that she misjudged your worth. She underestimated you. She thought you'd stay stuck in pain, in longing, in waiting. But now, you're the man women are drawn to. You walk with presence, you speak with authority, and you no longer look like someone who's looking back. Even subtle signs mess with her. She sees a woman comment under your photo with a heart emoji. She hears a rumor that you've been on a date, maybe. She sees a story with a female hand in the background. It's not what's shown, it's what's suggested. It creates questions in her mind she can't answer. And since she's not talking to you, those questions eat away at her in silence. That's when the comparison starts. She thinks about what those other women are experiencing. Are you more playful now? More confident? Are you giving them the attention she used to get? Is someone else enjoying the version of you that she never fully appreciated? And once those thoughts take root, the missing begins, not because she's in love again, but because she can't stand the idea of someone else having the version of you she ignored. It's jealousy, it's regret. It's the fear that she lost something another woman now sees as a prize. And nothing gets under a woman's skin more than realizing the man she left behind is now someone women want. So don't fake it, don't force it. Become that man for real. Build the kind of presence that draws people in without trying. And when she sees it, she'll miss you. Not just for who you were, but for the man you've become. When she's no longer allowed close, she can't predict you anymore. A woman starts to miss you in a dangerous way the moment she realizes she can no longer predict your next move. When she doesn't know what you're thinking, who you're seeing, what you're feeling, or what direction you're heading, it triggers something deep inside her, uncertainty. And that uncertainty becomes obsession, because what the mind can't explain, it keeps revisiting. Most men are far too predictable. After a woman leaves, she knows you'll text, she knows you'll wait. She knows that even if you go quiet, it won't last. And as long as she can guess your next step, she's not going to miss you. There's no mystery, no disruption, no feeling of loss, just control. But the moment you flip that script, when your actions no longer follow the emotional pattern she expected from you, you take away her ability to anticipate, and that's when the shift begins. You see, predictability gives her power. When she knows that you're emotionally stuck on her, she doesn't feel the need to act. But when you stop reacting the way she expects, when you don't double text, don't comment on her post, don't chase when she pulls away, don't respond when she baits you, it breaks her mental pattern. She starts asking questions she never had to ask before. Is he done with me? Has he moved on? Is he talking to someone? Does he still care? And because she can't figure it out, it haunts her. This unpredictability isn't about playing games. It's about leveling up your identity. You're no longer operating based on her presence or absence. You're no longer being driven by emotion. You're responding to life from a place of masculine focus. Your actions become grounded, detached, and strategic. You post what you want, when you want. You speak less, move more. You engage peer when necessary. No explanations, no emotional displays. And here's the part that drives her crazy. The more unpredictable you become, the more she watches.